So do you know what we're doing today?
I don't.
Kind of? Okay. Well, so I started working with this guy named Eric, who is fantastic. And he started a nonprofit that helps widows with any kind of maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So if they need pressure washing, if they've got leaks, if they got...
I can tell you when I need the gutters cleaned, even though they're those things that's not supposed to stop up,
Yeah.
they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he'll do it for you.
Well, I paid for him to do it.
No. That's what he does.
Oh, yeah, that's what that was about.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing I know it needs.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, his goal is for widows to not have to pay anything for home maintenance. Roofs included. And so he started that a while back. He's got a roofing company where he actually charges money for customers and stuff, but he doesn't charge widows at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you talk for me a little bit more? Tell me, what was your birthday?
What's my birthday?
Yeah.
July 21st.
What year?
When I was born in 1927.
Okay. Let's say that again all together.
I was born in 1927. I am now 98 years old.
So tell me about growing up, your family and your how many siblings, all that stuff.
Okay. I was born in Lincoln County in a little place called Bones Hill. I'm the oldest of 7 siblings. And I grew up in Lincoln County all my life, all my single life. I lived in Lincoln County, went to school in Bones Hill, Tennessee. And then when I married when I was 20 years old, married Robert Burgess. He was from Marshall County. And so we lived in...
What did you say how old you were when you got married?
I was 20.
Okay.
I was 20. We both were 20 when we got married. And we had 2 sons. The oldest one, Morris Burgess, and Donald. When Morris was 4 years old, we moved to Texas, Odessa, Texas. And my husband went to work in the oil fields out there. And we stayed out there for 8.5 years. We lived in Odessa. We lived in Lovington, New Mexico. And we moved into Vicksburg, Mississippi. And then we moved to a place in Georgia. Not Georgia, Alabama. We lived in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and then we moved to Alabama.
You moved because of his job?
We moved with the oil field. Mm-hmm. Stayed in the oil field business for 8.5 years, and then moved back to Tennessee, where Robert went to Auto Diesel College in Nashville and went to work then in Lewisburg. And we lived in he worked in Lewisburg, and we lived outside of Lewisburg for a few years. And then we moved to Petersburg. Donald was born just before we moved to Petersburg. And Mars went to school at Chapel Hill before we moved over to Petersburg. And Robert and a man that he knew went into business in a dairy farm. So we lived on a dairy farm in Petersburg for about 4 years. It was very hard for us. Mars had to get up so early to help with milking. And me with a son in high school and a tiny baby and a husband at the dairy barn all the time. It was very, very hard. But Robert got sick while we were living there, and he had leukemia. He lived for 8.5 months after it was diagnosed, and he passed away when he was 40. We both were just 40 at the time I became a widow. I was only 40 years old. So we had to get rid of all the dairy cows, and Marsh had started to college up here at Murfreesboro, and we moved up here after he found this house.
So,
I have lived in this house 58 years.
okay, let's go back. So how old? You were 40 when he passed. How old was Dad and Donald?
Okay, Marsh was 18, and Donald had his 4th birthday in December after we moved up here in October. No, we moved up here in November.
And so you were a widow.
So
with a
Donald had his 4th birthday here.
Yeah.
And I have been a widow now 58 years, because I was 40.
And that's when you bought this house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
So I have loved living in Murfreesboro. It's always been an easy place for me to get to know people. And I worked over at the Reeves Rogers School after Donald started school, and he was in, I think, 2nd grade maybe when I started work at the Reeves Rogers cafeteria. And I worked in that cafeteria for 22 years. And those ladies were some of my dearest friends. We felt like a family. We got together different times afterwards when we were all retired. And then I've had a lot of church friends, widow ladies. We'd be a group, and we'd get together and do things and go places. I have attended the Church of Christ ever since I've been here. University Heights is the first one I went to. And then when we outgrew that building, we built out at Case and Lane. And so I still attend Case and Lane Church of Christ when I can go. It's getting hard for me to go, and so I go when I can. But I drove until I was past 95 and got so it was too dangerous for me to do all that.
Talk about still living at home, though. You still live at home. You're 98.
Okay,
you still live
okay,
at home.
okay.
You move
I still live by myself now, and I have for several years, and
that's because you want to, right?
And that's what I want to. I want to stay at home as long as I can. I still do my own housework and my cooking. I can't shop anymore. Donald does my grocery shopping now. Marsh used to do my grocery shopping, and he got where he wasn't well enough to do it. So Donald had to take it over. Donald still works, and he works out at the
landfill.
Yeah, but what do we call that?
Is it BFI still? Is it BFI still?
Yeah, landfill.
Landfill, yeah.
He works out there, and so
Okay, so okay, let's go back. What was it like being 40 years old, a newly widowed?
Okay.
You know, and what kind of responsibilities did you have? You know, the move was new. Just tell me all about that time.
Well, when I was still young, while I was still young, still at home, my dad had a stroke. He had a stroke, and he was paralyzed, and he was bedfast and lived 5 years. Passed away a month before he was 50. So my mother was left with 7 children. I was the only one that was married. And we thought, as growing up, we were having a hard time. But it was mother that was having the hard time. She had all of us to raise, and my twin brother and sister were born a month before Dad had his stroke. And there we were with two babies, and my dad in the bed, and my mother having to wait on him. At the time he had his stroke, the doctor said there was nothing they could do, which now there probably could have been as he was such a young person, because he was never able to get up and walk. He could get up and sit in a chair, but he could never walk. He could never talk. He could talk and think he was talking, but he was never saying anything that made sense. It was just a mumble, and we could not understand him, and it was very, very hard for my mother to have to take care of him.
As well as 7 kids. And so that kind of
So,
ended up your job.
I had to stop school. I was in second year high school when my dad had a stroke, and my oldest brother, which was really younger than me, he also had to stop school because we had to farm, we had dairy, had cows and stock and everything on the farm for him to take care of. So it was very hard on him too. We were just teenagers, just not responsible for anything, you know.
But you had to be. You had to learn quick to be.
I did. So I had a wonderful mother. And when my husband passed away and I was left with 2 children, one 18 and one 4 years old, I knew I could do it. I knew I could take care of them and make a home for them. So if she did it, I could do it because she taught me so much, so much. She was one of the most, I guess, the strongest woman I've ever known. She made my life just easy for me, really, for all of us, if she could. And my mother lived to be 95. We were so lucky to keep her all those years. And she stayed in her own home herself all those years. But she got cancer, and so she had to spend the winters with us on the last. She just got where she couldn't be at home. And when she passed away, she was living up here with me. And she passed away up here at this hospital.
So how old was she when she became a widow?
A widow. Well, if Daddy was fit, she was just about. She was just about 42 or 3. Because, as I said, Daddy passed away a month before he was 50, and she was 7 years younger than him. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
So.
Let me just check something real fast. There's a weird line. Oh, I'm a dummy. You're doing great. You're doing really good. Um. All right. So basically, y'all became widows right about the same age in life too, huh? So, but we were lucky as a family. We had her for a long time.
We were.
So what was it like for you though? Because you moved here, and Dad's in school, and Donald's. Oh, let me get it. Oh, so Donald, I think. Hey Don. I'm good. How are you? Did did you know we were doing a little interview session today? Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm over here. I'll send you a picture of all the. Grandma was a movie star right now, so I'll send you. I'll head her off to you though. I just wanted to.
Or just turn him off.
Tell him to hear from me too. I'll let you talk to her for just a sec. All right.
Hello, Don. Okay, well, everything's fine here. We're busy. Okay. Bye-bye.
I'll send him a picture.
He's off. He's
Oh.
He's gonna call me when he gets off from work.
Oh, okay. Do you want to keep? Can you hide that in the pocket, or do you?
I'll put it behind me in just a minute. I just want to be sure the thing didn't go.
I'll send Donald that picture.
It will mess up sometimes when I close it, and then I can't call it. Nobody can call me. Yeah. Okay. Now see, Taylor, if that doesn't come on when I shut it, but sometimes something else will come on, and nobody can call me. They think something's wrong, and it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not with you, but with your phone.
Something
Right?
is wrong. You're right.
Yeah.
So, are we about through with this?
We're close. We're not too far. So yeah, I want to go back to just tell me what it was like, being a widow without, I guess, kind of without a man around to do chore or like maintenance, things like that.
I know.
So tell me about that. You got your. I don't know if you want the tissue in the shot.
Oh, you're not still making a picture, are you?
Yeah, I'm still
Oh my goodness.
That's okay. I'll cut it all out.
Well, I thought after talking to him, I kind of needed to.
Yeah, regroup.
What was it like being a widow? Well, I don't know. It was being a mother more than anything, being there for both my sons. And then I did babysitting before I ever went to work at Reeves Rogers School. Till Donald got where he could go to school, I stayed home, with him. And I did babysitting. I kept a baby that was 8 months old. And then I kept some school kids after school. When they'd get out of school, they'd come to my house. Marcia would pick Donald up at school and bring them to my house. So. And
then you went to work at Reeves Rogers. Tell me about that.
Well, when Donald started school, then I got a job. I think he was in the second grade at the time I started work over there, and well, it was hard trying to get up in the morning, get ready to go to work, and get a child off to school, but we made it, and it was just something you had to adjust to, and I don't really think I had any real big problem with moving here and starting a new life over. It's just something I had to do, and that's life. I had moved to so many places during the time that we went in oil field work. We're living in Texas and New Mexico, and I loved friends that I made out there and kept in touch with a lot of them for years. And
So you did really great on the like, because you weren't making crazy money, like you weren't making very much money at all, but you did so good at keeping it and saving it. But as tell me about that, living on a kind of a fixed income.
well, it was hard. It was hard to be sure the bills were paid, because when I was working at school, then I was out in the summertime. So I had to be real careful during those summer months with nothing coming in. And then at 60, I could start drawing Social Security, because widows can draw at 60. But I worked on until I was probably 65 or 66 before I ever retired. And I was beginning to have health problems. My blood pressure was a problem for me during the years I worked. And some arthritis had started in one foot. And the doctor told me that it was not ever good for a person to retire if they could help it. But in my case, with the blood pressure problem and all, he thought it would be all right for me to retire. So I did, and my blood pressure got better. I still take medicine for it. You have to always, but it's not a problem anymore. So Dr. Talbert was my doctor at the time, a wonderful doctor, and he told me that I was one person that retirement had been good for. And so I did. I have had a wonderful retirement, because I met with friends during that time, and then we were free to go whenever we wanted to, wherever we wanted to go. And one of the nicest trips I ever had was with friends, and we went to Vermont about 20-something years ago. And went in October, and it was so beautiful, beautiful up there. And one of those friends is still one of my dearest friends. She lives in Nashville, Mary Mullet, and Mary comes down about every 3 or 4 weeks, and when she's in Nashville. And Mary's just such a wonderful friend. She's just about the only one of the ladies, the last group of ladies that we had that were widow ladies that were getting together. But there was a whole group of us, and we did have a wonderful time to getting together. I did with them and with the ladies I worked with. And when anybody called me and asked me if I wanted to go somewhere with them, I was ready to go. I did my grocery shopping whenever I was home, did laundry when I was home, but when I wanted to go somewhere, I didn't let anything stop me. So I have really had a wonderful life. My teenage life and growing up, I thought was hard, but it really made a strong person out of me to face anything that came along to the best you can. What you can do to help it, you do that, and what you can't help, you let God take care of it. And He will take care of it if we let Him.
And you had stuff dealt. You had a lot of things thrown at you during your life.
I have. I've been through a lot of surgeries. I've had to have. Surgery soon after I had after I retired. I had to have a whole hysterectomy, and at the same time they removed my appendix. I still had that. In fact, I have been a healthy person, really a healthy person. Blood pressure was my main problem, but then years later I had to have hip surgery. So that was 20 years ago. I had hip surgery. I went through that real well, but walking really became a problem after that. And I use a walker all the time here in the house, and kept one in the car, because parking lots are very dangerous for you. And walking sticks are not much help for me. I didn't get much help. I was always kind of afraid of falling. So these walkers that you push around are just wonderful. And then 10 years ago, I had, it was more, I think more like 8 years ago, I had a ruptured sinus. And that was another surgery that had to go to Nashville to have that done. And had an eye problem. When you have a ruptured sinus, the sinus will drain either back toward the brain or into the eye. I was lucky. Mine drained into the eye. And the eye was already giving me problem at the time, and we were afraid that it would cause me to lose the sight in that eye, but it didn't. And that was another surgery that was successful. And I came home, and we had a storm here, and my refrigerator had gone out during that time. So I was staying with Donald and Sri up at Woodbury.
Yeah.
And Donald would bring me home of a morning, and I would stay here in the daytime, and then he picked me up at night and carried me back home with him. So that way I managed to stay home during the days. And
so tell me about buying this house. Do you remember what year you bought this house?
No, we'd have to take 58 years from 1967, because Donald was just 4 years old, and it was been 67.
So tell me what you did.
Okay.
So I can cut my voice out. Yeah.
So at the time my husband passed away, he was in the hospital in Nashville at Vanderbilt for a whole month before he passed away, that they would not let him come home, because it was just to carry him back, in just a day or two. And so they wouldn't. So he lived his last month in Vanderbilt. And so after his funeral and everything, I was trying to stay with Mother some. And Marsh came home one weekend, and I was just so upset and everything. And he knew something had to be done. So he was boarding up here with a nice family, and he came back and talked to them. So together, they got the paper out, and they looked through the paper and found this house. They found 3 different ones. And when Marsh came home that weekend, and we came back up here on a Saturday to look at this house, this man that owned this house, his name was Doug Summers, and he was going to be next door waiting for us to come up here. So when we got into town, Marsh said, I'm going to take you to the one I like best first, and then we'll go see the other 2. And so when I saw this house and saw that the backyard was fenced in, and Donald was not used to being fenced in, because we lived on a farm and he had to run to the yard, the whole place, if he went wherever he wanted to go. And so I knew this was the house for us. So I never looked at the other 2 houses. And so we bought this house that day and moved on Thanksgiving Day. So.
And it's been a great house.
It's been a wonderful house. One day I told Donald, he was still little, that I really liked his house. It went with the flow. He said, what do you mean it goes with the flow? I said, any way you go through it or in and out of it, you got another door to go out.
Yeah.
So, and it's been a wonderful house for us.
So tell me about the roof. Why do you need a new roof?
While we're waiting on a roof.
Yeah.
Okay, about 21 years ago, we had a storm that went through here, and it was mostly hail, and it just beat up the roofs of a lot of houses. It went through this area of town, and my house had the roof completely just beat up. And So when the insurance company, Farm Bureau, came out and checked it, of course, I got a new roof put on. And that's been 21 years ago. And so back in this fall sometime, we had several storms this past year. Marsh picked up, not Marsh, but Donald picked up 2 pieces of roofing that had blown off of the house at some time. But we wasn't sure that just where it was off of my house, somebody else's house, but it was in my backyard, so we figured it was mine. And then there was a place along the ceiling in my den that has leaked, but right now, it's been a while since it has, but I keep something down there in case it does leak, and I'm prepared for it. But it needs covering real bad. It's been checked out by 2 or 3 roofers. All say it needs covering, a new roof. So that's what we're going to get, is a new roof.
And so tell me what it's like knowing that, let's use their name, Books of John is what they're called. Books of John. Books of John is the name of the nonprofit that's putting on your roof. Yeah. Books of John. That's the name of the company, the nonprofit that's putting your roof on for free.
Oh, really?
For free, yeah. That's the place. So we want to say Books of John.
Okay.
So just say, what is it like knowing that somebody like Books of John is looking out for widows? You know.
Okay. I've been told, since I do need a new roof, that the company known as the Books of John help widows to get a new roof or anything they need to repair their house. So this man and his workers, I guess, roofers, whatever, are going to cover my house for me for free. I will not have to pay them unless we come up with something else that I need done, have done, and they will probably take care of that.
What's it like knowing that somebody's looking out for widows?
Well, it's just wonderful to know that there are people like that and that we can get help when we need it. That's what I say, God looks out for us if we let him. And so I'm sure every night when I go to bed, I'm watched over real well, because I wake up every morning happy. I might be a little sleepy, but I'm happy. Happy to be alive, happy to be up. Happy to know I'm going to be 99 in July. I just hope I make it. I think I will.
I think you will too. I think you'll make 100.
I have a wonderful family. I have 2 grandsons that I wouldn't take the world for. They're just precious. All grandmothers think that they have the most precious, but I do. So.
Well, so what will it feel like to get your new roof?
I will be really, really happy to get a new roof and not be having to think, well, everything might just get rained on this time, if we ever get a big enough rain.
Yeah, we need it.
We do need a good rain.
We do need it.
So.
Man, that was great, Grandma. Man, I can't think of anything else. Can you? That was really good. Maybe say thank you to him. Says thank you so much for looking after me and widows like me. Something like that.
What is his name?
His name's Eric, and Books of John, and the guy is Eric.
Okay, so I think the Books of John company.
Yeah. You can say thank you, Books of John.
Well, thank you, the Books of John, for taking care of me and widows like me. It's wonderful to have you.
Awesome. I think we're done. You feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to? Is there something that we can record to send out to family members? Just what's the next holiday we've got coming up?
Mother's Day.
Okay. All right. What's let's see.
Mother's Day, and then my birthday would be next.
Okay. Let's do a little birthday message that we can email to everybody saying so you're celebrating yourself on your 99th birthday. So what would you say to all your family members on your 99th birthday so we can send them this video? What's it like to be 99?
I don't know. You know, every birthday you're just so thankful for a birthday. So
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful that I have reached 99 at the health I have. I wouldn't want to be 99 if I was in a nursing home or sick, but I'm not sick and I'm not in the nursing home. And I am looking forward to another wonderful year.
Awesome. We're done, Grandmama. You did so good. You're natural.